Ciao Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel where of course it's all Juve all the time. I'm Alberto, you know the drill. It's January 1st, that's right. Happy New Year's everybody. I hope you enjoyed yourselves and did so safely. Alright, ringing in the new year. We're going to take a look at all the early signs, early Mercato rumblings, and of course Dusan Vlahovic's status, as now there is a set time frame put out for him. And then we're going to take a look at the month of January and the schedule coming up for Juve. Alright, let's get into it. All right, everybody, let's go. We've got, first of all, a birthday to celebrate, and that's Lilian Thuram. Lilian Thuram, of course, was with Juve from 2001-2006. He had scored one goal his entire time. It was a great goal, actually, against Milan, all right, but Thuram was an absolute monster. So, tanti auguri to Lilian Thuram. His son, Marcus Thuram, one of Juve's targets for the summer mercato as well, must be noted. Now, let's get into it. So, Torino want to bring in Ranocchia. They actually are thinking about trying to get a purchase. It's still undetermined whether or not Juve would actually allow a sale for Ranocchia. Currently, Ranocchia is at Monza, so a move in the winter mercato isn't going to happen because he's set to finish his time with Monza. So Ranocchia being eyed up by Torino, all right? Sandro and Quadrado, there is absolutely no signs, indications whatsoever of Juve keeping them around, okay? Alexandro, Juve holds an option to renew for another season, and they are not going to take that up. At Quadrado, there have been no signs of any discussions going to take place for a renewal. He obviously had an option that kept him around as well that was already went into automatic acceptance, all right? So that has to be noted. They are both set to go out. Cambiaso, all early signs and indications say that Cambiaso is going to return to Juventus next season, amongst pickups that Juve is going to be doing in the mercato, all right, in the summer, that is. So they're going to be bolstering that fullback position. Dennis Zakaria. Does anybody remember Zakaria? Yeah, so he is Juve's property still. So he's got to have a big 2023, at least these next 6 months for Chelsea, to try and get them to even think about taking up the option. Otherwise, he's going to be returned to Juventus, and then it's still going to raise some questions. Number one, if Juve is going to keep him around, or they might be stuck in a hard spot trying to move a guy that fell flat on his face at Chelsea. So it's going to be interesting. These next 6 months are going to be key for Dennis Zakaria, and obviously we're going to have eyes on his performances and what he can do. I want to know your thoughts on Zakaria. I always found it strange that we pushed so hard for him and we beat out a lot of teams that were interested in Zakaria, and then it seemed like we didn't give him a fair shake-up. So very interesting to see. Zakaria, do any of you want him to return, and would you put him into the lineup? If we are going to sell McKennie and lose Rabiot, would you bring in Zakaria back and keep him around, or would you move him and look elsewhere? Interesting to hear your thoughts. Now we get to Di Maria. Di Maria is set to return to Argentina in the summer. Paredes, all signs say he's going back to PSG. Also, in terms of PSG, should be worth noting that apparently Adrien Rabiot, the rumors surfacing today say that he might actually go back to PSG, and that PSG is very much still an option for Adrien Rabiot. So there you have it. Dusan Vlahovic, now we are starting to get some targets that they're aiming for to get him back. One of them is Udinese, and then of course it's Napoli after that. But this guy is still doing personalized work and not training in full with the team. So obviously we're only 3 days away from our first game of the second half of the season against Cremonese. He's going to have to get training in full with the team to get back here into these games. So time's ticking. We'll keep following Vlahovic's status, of course. Now, the schedule for January and our return, like I said, 3 days away. We start things off on January 4th against Cremonese. Then on the 7th, you have Udinese. So 2 quick back-to-back games there. Then you have a good break period. January 13th, you'll get Napoli. And then the 19th, you'll face Monza in the Coppa Italia. A couple days later, Atalanta in Serie A, and then finish things up on January 29th against Monza, but that'll be Serie A action, all right? My question to you, how many wins do you see Juve getting out of those in the month of January. How do you think we do? All right. So let me know. You guys know the drill, though. Let me know everything you think on all the news you heard, not just the schedule and everything. And how fired up are you to get things going again? I cannot wait. Do not forget, we will have the match day live kicking things off on Wednesday, January 4th. Okay, so 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. This is where to be. We're going to get hyped up for that game, all right? Till tomorrow's edition of the news, Forza Juve, fino alla fine. Ciao tutti.